Welcome back to day 16 of the 100 horror films in 31 days. Got in 3 films today. First up is 1990's Brain Dead. There's a lot of Brain Dead movies with that title. This was directed by Adam Simon, who didn't do a whole lot. I think he also did Carnosaur. But it stars Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton. Of course, they're great actors. Unfortunately, they really don't have a whole lot to do in this film. The story was an old Roger Corman script, but it's just a very light horror movie, a lot more psychological in nature than anything else. Yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't a great watch. This Scream Factory Blu-ray has an audio commentary with writer and director Adam Simon. I'm curious to listen to it just because he hasn't done very much other than the Carnosaur. Pretty weak, actually. And then I watched Twisted Nightmare. This is kind of a third-tier slasher movie from '87, but I think it took a few years to make. Its claim to fame is this guy named Cleve Hall, who's a goth special effects guy. He created the first Godzilla monster for some Texas carnival or something like that. He's an interesting character. There's some interviews with him on here. He's worth the price of admission just for that. This is a Code Red release. It kind of plays like, it's really a Friday the 13th ripoff. You've got a kind of this large monsterish guy that's going around killing people. The acting is subpar. For the money they spent on it, the lighting was terrible. Half of it was just too dark to even make out what was going on. It's amateurish at best. I give it a 4 out of 10. Not good. It was a chore to sit through, to be honest with you. There were a couple of decent special effects, like a guy's head gets pulled off from his body, but for the most part, this was a tough watch. Just wooden acting and incomprehensible. It was incoherent, and you couldn't see it. Half the time, you couldn't even see what was going on. The lighting was so bad. But I think it's worthwhile to pick up just because of Cleve Hall. He's a strange guy. And then I broke out my Paul Naschy collection, part 2, and I watched The Werewolf and the Yeti. I don't know if you guys have looked at this. This is pretty plain Jane, but each film has its own disc. Anyway, I watched Werewolf and the Yeti, which is also known as Night of the Howling Beast. It was released by AIP as Night of the Howling Beast, 1975. Of course, this film takes the Valdemar lycanthropy and it throws out the origins of the first few films and just comes up with a whole new origin story. In this one, Valdemar gets attacked by 2 vampire women in the Himalayas. He was looking for Bigfoot. Unfortunately, you're kind of waiting for the werewolf and the Bigfoot to have a big fight showdown, and there is a showdown at the end, but it kind of comes too little, too late. It's a missed opportunity, I think, as far as monster movies. But everything with Paul Naschy I enjoy quite a bit. But I would still give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't great. It took too long to get to the big battle with the Yeti, and there wasn't much of a battle, to be honest. Anyway, if you like Paul Naschy and the Werewolf, it's still a fun watch. All right, well, that'll wrap up day 16. Thanks for watching.